Hello and welcome everybody to this Google Hangout. My name is Tom Smart. I'm very pleased to be welcoming Jane Atherton to our afternoon chat. And just before we start, I just want to make sure that everybody can hear us clearly. So for all of you out there in Google Hangout land, if you'd just like to type in the letter Y so that we know that we can actually communicate with you. Can you hear and see us okay? If so, just type Y into the question box or the comment box if you're watching us on the Facebook page. Okay, we'll just wait for a few more people to join us. We're going to be starting live exactly at 3 o'clock, which by my Breitling watch is round about now. So everybody, welcome to this Google Hangout. I am Tom Smart, very pleased to be welcoming Jane Atherton to our afternoon chat. Jane is a mother, author, and entrepreneur. So Jane, are you with us, and where are you calling in from?
Hi Tom, yes I'm here. Can I just say I'm very excited to be doing this. I've never done a Google Hangout before, so it's all new to me. So, and I can see from my iPad here that we've got quite a few ladies joining us. So I'd just like to say well done to you all for managing to work it out. So I'm actually here in the Cotswolds at the moment. I've come up for the weekend to my house in Broadway, which I'm hoping to have a nice sort of relaxing weekend with my friends and family.
So Broadway, yeah, I've been there before. Very pretty village there. Lots of nice little shops and restaurants.
Do you know, it really is actually, it's a beautiful village. I mean, there's lots of pretty villages around in the Cotswolds, but Broadway, I think, has to be up there in the top 10. We've got some great restaurants. I mean, if you're in the village, I'd recommend you pop into Prego, great for Italian pizzas and pastas and things. And we've got a couple of hotels, and then we've got Russell's, which is a nice restaurant too. So it really is a great place. Yeah, definitely worth a visit.
Okay, so that's your job over for the tourist guide for the tourism board of the Cotswolds then. And Jane, why did you decide to write this book, and why is it called The Menopause Secret?
Well, a fully loaded question there. To be honest, I never really set out to write a book. It was never my intention to write a book at all. But a couple of years ago, I started to notice one or two symptoms that I wasn't familiar with. I mean, I was hot flushes, night sweats, irregular periods, and I wasn't quite sure what was happening to me. And at one stage, I thought I might even be pregnant, to be honest. But luckily, that wasn't the case. And once I realised that it was the menopause, I started to do some research and to find out what was going to be in store for me, basically. And up until this stage, I hadn't given it much thought. I mean, the menopause was somewhere in my future, and before I knew it, my future was here. So that's really how it evolved. And as for the title, The Menopause Secret, really, that really is more about understanding the whole concept of the menopause lifestyle. It's not just about the medical side of things. It's a whole lifestyle concept.
So do you think that this is a common entry into menopause for most women? They don't understand what's going on?
Absolutely. I mean, what I did find, which is very surprising and also comforting in a way, to be perfectly honest, is that the more women I spoke to, the more I realised that we were all feeling the same. We reached a stage of our life where certain things happen, and we don't prepare for the menopause like we do for pregnancy. So, it all happens, and we've got no education. We don't know what it's all about. So basically, yeah, I mean, and it's very important for all of you women out there who think you're out there on your own dealing with it. You're not. We're all here. We're all feeling the same thing, and it's just nice to know that we're all going through it together, basically. And you're not abnormal. It's normal.
So I just Googled menopause before we came on air, Jane, actually on Amazon, and there are dozens of books on menopause. So why is your book any different to the other books on menopause then?
Well, yes, I know what you mean, Tom. I mean, there's so many books out there. There's books, there's videos, there's YouTube, the internet. you can find many things on menopause. But what I found personally for me, as a menopausal woman, when I was starting my research, what I found was that all of this information was very medical heavy. I needed my questions answered about my medical concerns, but I needed it in a way that I could understand. So I sort of put together in the first chapter of the book the cause and cure section, which really addresses all of the concerns. And to be honest, a lot of the same concerns crop up time and time again. So we put together this cause and cure section where we answer the questions with remedies, natural remedies, and holistic remedies, or HRT if you want to go down that route, in a very easy format.
I was going to say that you say that it's not medically heavy. However, I think you're being very modest on the medical side there, Jane, because I see that yours is the only book that has been recommended by none other than Dr. Nick Panay, who is a senior consultant gynecologist and the chairman of the British Menopause Society, who says, "I am delighted to endorse and recommend Jane's book. The science is right. If you are serious about making the most of yourself physically and emotionally, read it and act." So that's a pretty amazing recommendation there.
Do you know, I was very honoured to receive that endorsement from Nick. I mean, we worked hard on the book, and like I said, we've worked very closely with the medical industry to make sure we get this chapter right. I'm not a doctor. I'm a clinical nutritionist, exercise instructor, and skin therapist. So that side needed to be spot on. So we worked very closely to answer the most important questions, to try and put women's mind at ease during this stage, to let them know that it's okay, you're going to get through it, but with the professional advice. And I'm very, very honoured, and thank you, Nick, for endorsing the book. Yeah.
So chapter 1 is a cause and cure section, and then chapter 2 we go into exercise. Now I see that Zumba is incredibly popular exercise routine right now. Would you recommend that?
Well, you know what, Zumba is very good. It's very energetic, and for all those ladies out there who are fit and on it, then Zumba is great. You know, it's a great form of exercise. But there is also a lot of women out there who they're working hard during the menopause. They come home, they've got to look after their husbands, they've got to do the housework, and the last thing that they want to do is to go and do jumping around in a Zumba class. But I would totally recommend it, but if you're not quite up to it, then there are many other forms of exercise, and that's what we've covered in the book here. The different types of exercise that you can do to suit your pace. So if you're a fitness fanatic, we've got it covered. If you're a little bit of a couch bunny, then we can lift you off the couch and take you forward from there. And literally, it could just be 10 minutes a day to get you started.
Okay, so then leading on, I see you've got a whole chapter about diet. Now, I've been doing some research myself, and I see that one of the problems that women seem to have in menopause is that they lose calcium. So should they just drink more milk then to replace the calcium they're losing?
Well, again, that question is probably a bit beyond the realms of this interview, but to be honest, yes, women do lose calcium during menopause. Basically what happens is the drop in estrogen results in increased levels of bone loss, and the first 5 years after menopause, once you're postmenopausal, is when you're going to notice it most. Now, milk has always been portrayed as being the best source of calcium within the industry, and dairy farmers would like us to believe nothing more than milk and dairy produce are the best form of calcium. One problem with that I have very quickly is the fact that when milk and dairy products are in the body, they are acidic. And what happens to the body when it's acidic is it tries to neutralize that by balancing the acid-alkaline balance. And it does that by actually drawing calcium from your bones. So the more protein that you eat, whether it's meat or dairy produce, because dairy produce is a form of protein, it will make your blood acidic. So your body will try to balance that by drawing calcium from the bone. So the overall gain from dairy products could actually be negative. So I mean, I like milk in my tea, and I like milk in my cereal, but just be aware that it's not necessarily the best form of calcium. Things like broccoli and dark green leafy veg are always good forms of non-dairy calcium. So it's another thing just to look at.
So it's a question of drop the milk and increase the red wine intake. I see that one of your most popular posts on your menopause page was a picture of obviously a woman who'd been to the shops, and she said, "Oops, have I bought wine instead of milk again?" with a crate of red wine sitting on the table.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's always the way to go. I mean, to be honest, our Facebook page, Menopause Remedies, we've been going for a while now. And we've got lots of lovely women on there who comment on the posts, and some of the things that we post are serious. Some of the things are a little bit more frivolous. So we just like to get that balance right, and we put that post on, and it just showed that our ladies do have a sense of humour. They like to keep a sense of humour through the menopause, no matter how tired they are, no matter how many hot flushes they are. There's always room for a glass of red wine, I'd say.
So you mentioned the word balance, and balance seems to be quite a big section of your book there, and going on to chapter 4, the body and soul section. Tell me a bit more about that.
Yeah, the body and soul section we wrote. I mean, I was lucky enough to spend a lot of my time in Asia, and where I sort of got into the Ayurveda concept, I got into Tai Chi, and I even spent an awful lot of time with the Buddhist monks out there, who were beautiful, beautiful people, shared with me many secrets of the soul, and we actually got to know ourselves, and we sort of got all these holistic remedies, and it sort of made you step back and question yourself and your beliefs, because at this stage of your life it's almost like you're entering a new phase, and you need to look at different avenues, and the whole purpose of chapter 4 is to bring you back to yourself. And it's not only about meditation and all the alternative remedies. We cover things like beauty and sex and tantric sex, and everything that will affect your life during the menopause. We touch on literally everything, and that really is where we step away from the medical side of things and look at you as a whole person, and try and bring you in balance with who you are now and how you're going to move forward with the next 30 plus years of your life in menopause.
Well, I see. Well, you're painting a picture there of sort of like having a very austere, humble life in Asia, but you also then go on to talk about all the fabulous spas you visited. What's the concept behind that?
Oh goodness, yeah. I mean, the spas in Asia really are the best spas that I've been to in the world. Bali has got some fabulous spas, and what I've done there is I've actually taken the best of the spas that I've been to, and we've included some beautiful recipes in the book that you can make at home yourself, whether it's a pedicure, whether it's a foot bath, whether it's a mud wrap. Very simple, but it just gives you that lift, and we've actually tried to sort of bring a little bit of Asia into the book as well, and I'm sure once you've tried it, you'll be hooked.
So it's a Bali spa away day in Kensington then, at home.
Or even in the Cotswolds, even here in Broadway, couldn't be better.
So, Jane, who should actually be reading this book then?
Well, what a lot of women don't realise is that the hormones can actually start fluctuating from the age of 35. I mean, at 35, menopause is the last thing on your mind. You're probably still maybe having children, you've got toddlers at home or whatever, and menopause certainly isn't on the radar screen. But that is when fluctuations can begin. So I would recommend anybody from the age of 35
sorry,
right through to...
Let me just get this right. From 35, you should be thinking about menopause?
I'm not necessarily thinking about it,
That's going to come as a bit of a shock to a lot of women listening to this, I think.
Yeah. I mean, me too. Because if you have a hot flush at 35, you certainly don't connect it to the menopause. It's probably just, like we were saying earlier, probably a glass of red wine too many, and menopause is the first thing from your mind. But in some women, you reach menopause at the age of, in the UK, around about 51, and that is defined when a woman has gone for 12 months without having a period. Once she's gone through that stage, she will be post-menopausal for the rest of her life. But the period before is a period called pre-menopause or perimenopause, and that can start 15 years before. Hormones start to fluctuate. You will get various symptoms like mood swings, hot flushes, memory loss, fatigue, all of those things. And basically, the more prepared you are, the easier time you will have it. So knowledge is power at the end of the day. So be informed, be prepared, read the book, and then, you know, hopefully you won't have too many problems.
So, obviously, I was a bit intimidated to be talking about the menopause. You know, as a man, obviously, I don't go through menopause. So, why would I be interested in reading this book, or you know, is it
Well, yes.
you know,
Do you know?
why would I read the book?
Well, the whole thing about the Menopause Secret is the way that it's written. It's not a book that you've got to read from cover to cover. You can actually dip in and out of it, and of course, there's going to be lots in the book that men can't relate to. But there's also sections in the book which, you know, men might find interesting. It may help them with their relationship with their partners.
Well,
And
I've certainly seen a lot of cartoons on your Facebook page where we're dealing with what should we say, super hyper PMS women. I mean, yeah, I think that would be something that I would like to be forearmed about. I mean, is it true that going through the menopause is actually a major cause for divorce?
it can be. It can be. It depends. I really think that depends on how strong your relationship is beforehand. I mean, if you've got a solid relationship, then you know you will work together. I mean, your husband may need a little bit of a prod now and again to sort of get him on board with the fact, because you know it's a change for him too. You know, the women themselves are going through it. They're probably quite surprised themselves when they find themselves sort of out there, sort of having a mood swing for no reason, because that's not what they're normally like. So they're quite shocked, and then they just need support from their husbands to help them through it. So I mean, men would definitely, I think it would probably make their lives a little bit easier if they could read certain sections of the book. Yeah.
Yeah, I think earlier on in my life, if I'd have been given an idea about just basic PMS, that might have been helpful. Now, another interesting thing, I've just been perusing the bookshelves and seeing what's popular. And one of the books that's actually selling a lot is How to Text Your Wife into Bed. Do you have anything to say about sex life and stuff like that in your book?
Sorry, what did you say? How to what?
How to text your wife into bed. This is,
Okay,
I think,
no,
aimed at men who are very lazy and don't want to talk to their wives and think they can spice up their bedroom life by sending text messages.
Okay, right. No, not really into that whole vibe at all. Not my scene at all. I think the men would definitely benefit from, um, if any man thought that that would woo a woman into bed, then I think he perhaps needs to think again and definitely read chapter 4 of the Menopause Secret, where he can get in touch with his wife's feelings and his own feelings at this stage of life. Drop the text. Definitely not recommended.
So you're saying tantric sex, not text?
Tantric sex is interesting. It's something that, you know, it sounds sort of way out there, but if you've not tried it before, it's all part of that whole holistic thing, and definitely worth reading and looking at.
I think this is being broadcast in the afternoon, so we better
Well, before the
chat.
get on.
Going down that road, probably in a whole interview on its own after the watershed. So Jane, you just finished your second book, I believe. So tell me about that. What's the second book all about?
Well, the second book, yes, we've called the second book the 30-day concierge program, and this really is a natural follow-on from the Menopause Secret. And what I found was there's so much information in the Menopause Secret, and as we said before, women going through menopause are working, they've got a very busy life, and actually applying all of this information can be somewhat daunting, you know, and you tend to put it at the bottom of your priority list. So what I've done here is I've taken 30 days, and each day you are given a full diet, a full recipes, beauty tips, meal plans, everything that you need each day, and there's notes for you to write on your progress. And at the end of the 30 days, we hope we've introduced you to a better lifestyle, a better diet, what exercise you should be doing, and really pretty much having a positive attitude towards the menopause. I mean, this all takes time, so we thought 30 days would be a good introduction to you to carry it on for the rest of your life. There's an awful lot of really valuable information in this book, so I hope people will buy it and use it to improve their lifestyle.
Yeah, it sounds a very powerful concept. They always say that to change your habits, it takes about 30 days. That's something that's known within the industry. So it's a sort of guiding hand, take you by the hand every day type book, so starting as soon as you get up in the morning to what you're going to have to eat. Do you recommend? Have you got meal plans and recipes in this book?
That's exactly what we've done. We've tried to literally make it as easy as possible for you to not have to think about anything, but just do your grocery shopping, make sure you've got the food in the fridge, prepare your meals. They're not overcomplicated meals. They're very wholesome. They're very simple. You're getting all the phytoestrogens that you need to help improve your lack of estrogen, hormone balance, and then they were also making you feel good about yourself as well. So you're looking after yourself. You're giving yourself the beauty treatments, and you're giving yourself the downtime that you definitely need. And it's all in a very organised format.
So it could have been called quite easily the menopause diet then.
Well, not really, no, because it's a lot more than diet, because diet is just such a small part. You know, if you're eating the right foods, that goes a long way. If you're exercising, that actually helps as well. And then you've also got to look after yourself in all of this and put yourself first. So, you know, as a woman approaches menopause, she starts to realize that this is her life and it's now her time, and we encourage that right up there. We just sort of give you inspiration and ideas to make the rest of your life the best of your life, basically.
Okay, good advice. So, Jane, for you, what's next? Any more books planned then?
Well, not at the moment. I don't have, but I would never say never. I'm very busy at the moment. I'm very excited. We're developing a range of skincare products. The Phytomone skincare collection is being introduced into the shops later on this year, and that's been designed by cosmetic scientists and skin therapists, clinical nutritionists, and we've actually developed a range specifically for hormonally changing skin to actually feed the skin, give the skin what it needs during the stage of life. So I've been very, very busy doing that, but that's been a journey within itself, so you never know. There might be a book in there somewhere on that.
I actually saw somewhere on your website as well you're developing a nutraceutical. What's a nutraceutical?
Nutraceuticals, yeah, we've done this to complement the skincare products, because, you know, beauty begins within. There's only so much you can put on your face, no matter how sophisticated it is, no matter how many special actives it's got in it, it will work beautifully, but you need to complement that with beauty from within. So we've got a hybrid of a vitamin supplement and a menopause supplement. So it's more than a menopause supplement, and it's more than a beauty supplement. So you're getting the best of both worlds. So that in hand with the skincare collection should see you looking good through the menopause, ladies.
I guess we're going to hear lots more of that as we go on through.
Very exciting. I don't really want to say too much about it at the moment because it's still ongoing, but we will be announcing it to, first of all, to our very faithful fans and followers on our Facebook page, where we can, you know, they'll get special offers and discounts, and then it will be out there for the general public. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Jane. But just before you go, what would be your top tip for surviving the menopause then?
Well, I think has been proven.
Of the crates of red wine, I guess.
Yeah. Apart from the red wine, I think what's been proven on the Facebook page, the Menopause Remedies page, is that no matter how many posts I put on about menopause and the symptoms and remedies, the most popular ones are always the ones that have a little bit of a fun side to them. So for me, it's always about it's about humour, and it's about seeing menopause for what it is. It's not going to last. You will get over it. Symptoms will die down. It can be tough as you're going through it, but if you can see it with a little bit of humour, it will go a long way. You know, and as we say, HRT, humour replacement therapy, it releases those endorphins. You've got the feel-good factor going. So no matter how bad you feel, just try and see your way through it all, because it will come to an end and you will feel better.
Okay, very good. Well, we're being respectful of people's times. It is a Friday afternoon. People must be very, very busy. So thank you very much for tuning in. However, just very quickly, I see that there are a couple of questions coming through on the chat box. Do you have time to possibly answer a couple of questions, Jane, before we go?
Yeah, sure, Tom. Yeah, I'm just looking at my iPad now. So we've got quite a few ladies here asking a few questions. So yeah, I'm quite happy to answer them. Have you got them there, Tom, or shall I read what I've got here?
Well, you just choose the ones that you would like to answer. We've only really got time for maybe two or three.
Okay, let me just have a quick look. I think one of the most popular ones that's coming up here as I'm just looking is what is menopause? And again, it's a very obvious question, but I think most women assume that everybody knows apart from them. You don't, ladies. You know, people don't know what the menopause is. A lot is what I've found, and it's very interesting. Menopause has got three stages. Just very quickly, you've got perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. The three categories. You've got when you reach menopause, it means it's determined by the fact that you have gone for 12 months, 12 complete months without having a period. If you've gone 12 months without having a period, then the very next day you will be post-menopause, and you'll be post-menopause for the rest of your life. Your hormone levels will have reached an all-time low and they will never be back up there again. So you'll be post-menopause. Perimenopause is what happens before, and that can start up to 15 years, as we've already said, up to 15 years beforehand in some women. Other women, it may be between 2 and 5. That's when your hormones start to fluctuate. You get all of the hot flushes, the mood swings, want to kill your husband, and all of those things going on. So that is what the menopause is, basically. Three easy steps. Just have we got time for one more?
Possibly one more if you could make it brief.
Just quickly looking, what's coming up, what's flashing up most popular here is what are phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens, ladies, are plant hormones, basically. It's what you get. They're a very weak form of estrogen, and they can actually help supplement your estrogen levels in a natural way rather than taking HRT if you're not sure about HRT. Broccoli, dark green leafy veg, all of those types of things contain phytoestrogens, plant hormones, and they will help increase your hormone levels, your estrogen. And maca root, just very, very quickly, maca root can actually help balance your adrenal hormones and give balance there. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Obviously, with lots of interest, lots of questions there, this is maybe something that we could do in the future for you to actually answer questions live on air then. But
yeah.
We are running out of time. We've got to be respectful of people's time. However, before we do close, I believe you've got something special to offer to our listeners who've taken the time to dial in today to watch this live presentation. And I believe that you might be giving away a book. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, what we've said, I mean, that this is my first time, as I said at the beginning, it's my first time of doing a Google Hangout, and I'm sure it probably is for a lot of women out there as well. So if you've managed to join us, thank you very much, and well done. You're here with us. And just as a little bit of an incentive, we decided that we'd like to give a signed copy of the book away, just to say thank you very much for joining us. So are they going to find details at the end here, Tom? I'm not quite sure how that bit's going to work.
Well, I guess you will basically have to pick a winner from all of the attendees. So
okay.
All of the attendees, if you just like to send a quick email over to supportgroup@phytomone.com, supportgroup@phytomone.com, and then Jane, maybe you could pick a winner from the emails that come flooding in.
That would be great. Yeah, that would be lovely. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. It's been great, and I've enjoyed it, and hopefully we can do it again soon. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Jane. I'll let you get back to your R&R in Broadway there. I'm sure you'll be wandering down into the village and checking out the latest imports of red wine. So I'd like to wish you every success with your venture, Jane, and we hope that everybody's enjoyed our short interview with Jane, who I can't see at the moment. Are you still there?
Oh, sorry. Just picking up my notes.
Thanks very much, Jane, and have a very good afternoon. And it's
Thank you very much.
from myself, Tom Smart, and Jane Atherton.